Okay, so we're doing X, Y, and Z in this case. So lots of stuff going on here. We are going to assume that this diagonal makes this into a triangle, so it's just a diagonal. These guys are going to be congruent. For me, I think that's the easiest one to start with because that's the first one that is consistent through all the problems we've already done. So I'm going to start there. So I know that this guy minus 4 equals 110. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So 3z equals 114 divided by 3. So z equals 114 divided by 3 is 38. So z equals 38. So you're taking care of that one. So this is one of the answers to the question that you need. So if I know z is 38, I also know that this angle is 110 degrees because of opposite angles being congruent. So you could do this a couple of different ways for x. Actually, no, there's one way. These two angles are supplementary because they're adjacent. So if I add this angle, which we now know is 110, to this, it should equal 180. So because these are adjacent, this entire angle and this entire angle are going to equal 180. I'm going to use the 110 instead of this because that would be two variables and you'd be stuck. So you want to do 110 plus 55 plus x, because we got to count both of these, equals 180. So that's 165 plus x equals 180. Subtract 165 from both sides, and x is going to equal to 15. So we've taken care of that one. And now we're just missing our y. Now, this is a throwback to math 2. Parallel lines cut by a transversal. Opposite interior angles are congruent. So you can either remember it from there, or you can just know that this angle and this angle in any parallelogram is going to be congruent, as well as this angle and this angle will always be congruent with your diagonal. If it is indeed a parallelogram, the diagonals opposite of each other will always be congruent. That's the only rule from the transversal and parallel lines from math 2 you probably are going to need to be able to remember. So again, if you don't remember the rules, know that a diagonal cuts through a parallelogram, opposite of each other are congruent, and opposite of each other are congruent. So in this case, I'm going to set up 11y equals 55. Divide by 11 on both sides, so y equals 5. We've answered our questions, and I hope you notice I'm going back and checking off what we've completed to make sure I'm answering the question correctly. All right, short video, so I'm going to go to the next one. All right, this one is a mess. We got lots of letters. Now, we just did 2 of them that had to do with angles, so your 180 is going to be fresh in your brain, but these are sides. So since they're sides, 180 is off the table. It is a parallelogram, so that means I know this side and this side are congruent. So 2c squared is going to be equal to 200. And then you can pause the video right now and try it if you didn't do it already. Divide by 2. C squared equals 100. Take the square root, and c equals 10. So I know that c equals 10, and it says find the value of c. I know this is one of the answers to this problem. Since it's a parallelogram, this side and this side are also congruent, so negative 5d plus 27 is equal to 12 minus 2d, and we're going to solve for d. I'm going to add the 5 just to keep my numbers positive attached to my d. So 27 equals 12 plus 3d. I'm going to minus 12 on 27, which should give me 15. And so I have 15 equals 3d. Divide both sides by 3. So d is going to be equal to 5. And it says find the measure of d. So we found our answer for that one as well. So again, when you finish the math, check back and make sure you're answering the right question. Because again, on a multiple choice test, your quick trigger pull is going to be there. All right, good job.